Welcome to Add a Little Dazzle. We are so excited that you've joined us today, and in today's video we are going to teach you how to double emboss a piece of metal using the honeycomb impressions folder. This technique that I'm going to teach you today is really easy, but it helps you create some added texture to these areas and where you want to add some interest. So this is a quick and easy video, so let's go ahead and get started. To begin with, there are some basic tools that you're going to need. You're going to need an acrylic cutting pad. These are the ones that come with your bake shop, but you need to make sure that you have one that has no marks on it and that it's clear. You will also need a silicone rubber mat. These used to come with the bake shop. If you don't have one of these, you can also use a mouse pad. And you'll need a wood cuticle stick. You can find these at your local beauty shop, and make sure it has an end that looks like a pencil and this flattened end right here. And so these are the three basic tools that you need, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So we're going to begin with the silicone rubber mat, and I'm going to take my embossed piece of metal and I'm going to place it on top. I'm going to use the side that looks like a pencil, and I'm going to start here at the top, and I am just going to make diagonal lines, as you can see what I'm doing there. I don't want to press too lightly, but I don't want to press too hard on it. And let me get in a little bit closer so you can see what I am doing. There we go. And so again, I'm going across diagonally. Going diagonally, again putting some pressure but not so much. And because I have this silicone rubber mat underneath, it allows me to create that look into my metal. And so I am going to continue doing this on this side. Now, the reason that I'm using this wooden cuticle stick is because it will not scratch my metal. So it is important that it is made out of wood. And as you can see, I've done this here. And here I'm going to go outwards on those areas. And then over here, I'm going to go in the opposite direction. Again, outwards. Especially when you have that side piece that you don't want to come in from that end piece. You want to go outwards. And so here we're going diagonally in the other direction just to create some interest. Now, let's say, for example, you don't like the way it came out there. You're going to take it off your silicone mat and you're going to put it on the cutting plate. And you're going to take a paper stump and you are just going to go over the inside of the area you created the diagonal lines on. And as you can see, I have now erased it. But I need to have that flat bottom piece underneath so that it won't go straight down. But when I'm creating that texture, then I want that silicone piece so that the texture will be created, but you don't want to go too heavy. Now, sometimes you do cut through the metal, and let's say you're already at the end of a design and you don't want to have to redo it. Well, that's easy. You can use some Add a Little Dazzle metal tape sheets and peel it off and put it on the back of the metal, and you have closed that area. And so here, as you can see, I'll continue doing that until I finish this row right here. So now that I've done texturizing these two areas, I've now put it on my cutting plate that is free of any marks, and I need to define the areas because when I pushed it in, it stretched my metal, so I want to define the areas again. So I now have it on a flat surface on my metal, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to define the intersection of my hexagon, as you see me doing right there. And so that helps it show where that hexagon is more. It'll define it more so it doesn't look like it's being pushed in because of the area that you created that texture in. And so it just gives you that definition. So when you want to create that texture, you use the silicone rubber mat, and when you want to define your area, which is what you're doing here, then you're going to use the cutting plate, making sure that there are no marks on it, that it's a clean one that you designate just for this. And the reason for that is because if you have marks on the bottom, it's going to show up in your metal. So again, here you're going to define the inside of the hexagon with the end of the wooden cuticle stick. And because it is wood and there's no metal in it, it will not mess up your metal. It will not scratch it. And as you can see, it's added a really interesting texture to this piece. You can do as much or as little as you want. As you see here on this card, I didn't want to overwhelm it with texture, but because it was a masculine card, I wanted to add something different and interesting, and I really love the way this came out. Make sure that you check out our PDF tutorial that'll give you all the instructions with materials and measurements that you need for creating this card. And stay tuned as we continue to showcase more masculine cards and more techniques on where you can create that texture by hand. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at monica@addalittledazzle.com. Thanks and have a dazzling day.